Hey y'all, it's Masha here. A little bit of a different setting than usual. Um, I'm just in bed, and I've got my torn meniscus issue here. And then this morning I woke up and I think there's something wrong with my rotator cuff. It's probably from my body overcompensating because my meniscus being torn has really thrown off the balance of how I do things. So I think this has just been exasperated. But anyway, regardless of just being crippled at this point, I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know that everything's going to be okay. Everything will be okay, okay? And one of the ways to ensure that everything's okay is by feeling your way through things. Sometimes feelings are more important for processing events than our logic, because a lot of the time logic can actually cloud the reality of situations, because logic sometimes is not very logical. Sometimes logic is unnecessary fear or precautions where there should be heart opening and a place of basically just living from the heart instead of the mind, because especially when it comes to things like traumas and relationships and our self, like the relationship we have with ourselves, sometimes our logical brains can get in the way of the healing process, because our mind wants to keep protecting us from the very things that's happened in the past that are no longer happening right now. But we have to do our best to, first of all, no longer be in the places, be near the people and the things that trigger, the trauma and the dysregulation. Number one. Number two, regardless of the environment around you, you have to learn to become your own peace. And number three, you just have to take it as it comes, because at the end of the day, as people, we're always going to have emotions and feelings and thoughts, right? And then we're also going to have outside influences from our parents, friends, lovers, this, that, the other. Like, we are always going to have to be juggling expectation versus, and that means like our own expectation versus other people's expectations, our needs and wants versus other people's needs and wants, literally our own like egos, like like who we are as characters, right? Like even our personalities, sometimes it's going to be like a total mirror looking at other people, and then sometimes it's going to be an opposite. And even in that, there is lessons to be learned. But the greatest thing that you can do for yourself when you are in the healing space is to just be gentle, right? Be gentle. And remember that, these things will pass. The trauma that you've endured in the past, it might live within you still, but you're no longer there. And it's up to you now to process the various residual mental, emotional, spiritual environments that you have created for yourself surrounding those stories and the traumas that you were told, whether it be like in childhood or, in your teen years or adulthood. You are the one that has to rewrite that story, and you're fully capable of doing that. I'm like 100% sure that everyone is capable of doing it with the right tools and with the right mindset. I have been personally doing this my whole life. I come from a very dysfunctional household. I come from a place where I did not know peace. I've never been loved properly, didn't know what any of that meant. And thankfully, God has shown me otherwise, and my life is very different and continues to become very different than what I grew up with. But it took a lot of sitting with myself, looking at where I was and what I needed to change to get through the trauma in order to live from more heart, like an open heart space. Because if I'm always in my mind, then I'm always going to be telling myself to be careful and that can stifle and ruin and block a lot of blessings, especially when it comes to, pardon me, when it comes to living as a Christian. We are supposed to have full faith in Christ. So when we are always looking for the logical in things, sometimes we're missing the message of the Spirit, right? Like, for example, even what I'm going through with my with this meniscus tear, and now like my shoulder, it's been a rough 2 months. It's been like 2 months now. And in the last 2 months, I have taken this as an opportunity to really grow as a person. And I honestly feel like I've changed a lot, just even in the last month alone. Um, I could have sat here and just cursed everything and cursed my existence, because it's hard to be crippled, and it's tough for a person like myself that's hyper independent, that's still learning to ask for help. You know, this has been a very positive experience for me, because I have gotten closer to God, I've gotten closer to myself, and I've gotten closer to what my body needs, what I need in my life. And I'm now building better relationships with my community because I've actually reached out for help. And that wouldn't have happened if I didn't get hurt. Unfortunately, God had to literally take me off my feet in order to like teach me to ask for help. He had to do that twice. Literally twice. I'm stubborn. What can I say? But with all that being said, I could have sat here and wallowed in my pain and pity and like closed myself off and been like, oh, fuck this. Like, nobody's here for me, blah, blah. And instead, I opened up my heart. I said, screw you, mind. I'm not going to believe that story that nobody cares about me. Okay. I listened to my heart and I said, you know what? I am going to reach out and I'm going to open myself up. I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to tell people I need help. And people came and helped me. Like, God is so good. We just have to be obedient. And once we're obedient, He provides. He provides everything. Anyways, this is long enough already. If you're still here, thank you. And I genuinely hope that you took away something from this video. And if nothing, then I hope you have a great day. And I'll see you guys again soon.